Hi everyone, Mr. H again, and welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I will be discussing with you everything that you need to know about box and whisker plots. But first, what are box and whisker plots? So box and whisker plots are also known as box plots. This is actually a structured, prepared form of graph summarizing a set of data focusing on 5 number summary: the minimum value, the lower quartile, or the first quartile, Q1. Next is the median. Third is the upper quartile, or the Q3. And the last one is the maximum value. So these 5 values will be highlighted in every box and whisker plot that you will be drawing. So to further understand this concept, let's take a look at an example. So the given problem is the results of a 20-point quiz of an AP Calculus class are as follows. And what we need to do first is to make sure to organize or arrange the data values in ascending order. So we will start from the lowest, which is 8, followed by 11, followed by 12. So we have two 12s here. Then 13. So we have two 13s as well. Followed by 14, 114, we got 115, 116, two 17s, and 118. So again, make sure to arrange the numbers and make sure that you got all the correct data values. All right, so after arranging the data values in order, then we can proceed with identifying the key numbers, as what they call it. All right, so we can start by identifying the median. So by definition, median is the data value that divides the entire data set into 2 equal parts. So this is where the Q2 is, or the median is located. Let me just change it. So if you take a look at the left-hand side of the median, you have 6 different data values to the left of the median. Also, you have 6 different data values to the right of the median. So they are equally divided. But then, also by definition, median is a data value. So that means that we must have one median value only. And how do we get that from here? So in order for us to get the median value, we're looking at these 2 numbers that we need to involve in finding the median. So we got 13 and 14. So getting the sum of 2 numbers divided by 2, the median will be 13.5. So 13 plus 14 is 27, divided by 2 is 13.5. So that's the median value. So next that we can identify is lower quartile is the data value, or what we call the median of the data set to the left of Q2. So here. So these are the data values to the left of the median. So the median of that data set is our lower quartile, or Q1. And from this group, we can see that the median actually is here. So the Q1. And it's pretty obvious that the Q1 or the lower quartile value is 12. All right, so on to the next is the upper quartile. Same concept as how the lower quartile is obtained. So for the upper quartile, is the median of the data set or the group of numbers to the right of the median. So for this example, we have this group of data values to the right of the median. So we will get the median of that group. And by looking at the data values to the right, we can say that the median, or the Q3 rather, the upper quartile, is positioned here. And to get the value of the upper quartile, we just need to involve these two numbers right here. So you get 16 plus 17 is 33, and divided by 2, that's going to give us 16.5. So our Q3 or upper quartile value is 16.5. And for the other two key values that we need, we have the minimum, which is very easy to identify, the minimum and maximum. So this is our minimum. 18 is our max. Now, after having those key numbers or key values that we need, we can start drawing our Box-and-Whisker plot. That your number line need to have equal intervals. You can have, if you want interval of 1 or 2 or 5, depending on how small or big the data values are, you can always adjust the number line. So organizing the data and presenting them using the Box-and-Whisker plot will eventually help you analyze the data. So please make sure that you draw the number line with the same equal intervals for all. So going back to the example, we already got the 5 numbers that we need. So we just need to locate them or plot them on the number line. So we can start with the minimum, and then the maximum is 18 here. So the next one is the lower quartile. So the lower quartile is here. And then upper quartile is 16.5. So 16.5, this is 17. 16.5 is somewhere here. The median, 13.5. That's the Box-and-Whisker plot. Now, there's one additional thing that I would like to discuss with you, which is about the outlier. So what is an outlier, or what are outliers? So outliers are extreme values that stand out greatly or too far outside the overall pattern of values in a dataset. In a given dataset, there's a possibility that the data set has one or more outlier or outliers. There are data sets that do not have outliers. And sometimes by observation, it's easy to spot if there's an outlier in a given data set, because if you look at the numbers closely and you see something, oh, this number is too far from this set or group of numbers, definitely there's a possibility that that number is an outlier. But in order for us to be accurate or be correct with the assumption, definitely there's a way to calculate and to identify if there's a possible outlier in the given data set. We're going to start with calculating the IQR. So IQR is the interquartile range. So the formula in finding the IQR is upper quartile minus the lower quartile. Q3, which is 16.5, minus Q1 is 12. So the IQR, or the interquartile range, is 4.5. Let me highlight that because we will be needing this. Now, the other things that you need to calculate is the lower fence, or what we call the lower boundary. The lower quartile minus 1.5 multiplied by the interquartile range. The other boundary that we need to calculate is the upper fence. This is calculated by taking the upper quartile, Q3, plus 1.5 multiplied by the IQR, or the interquartile range. Let's find out the value of the lower fence. So we have Q1 is 12 minus 1.5 times the IQR, which is 4.5. So we need to be very careful here, because if the IQR is incorrect, so obviously the calculation for the lower fence and the upper fence will also be incorrect. But then again, everything here is based on how you've calculated the 5-number summary, right? The 5 key values. So going back to the calculation of lower fence, so we have 12 minus 1.5 times 4.5 is equal to 5.25. Upper fence, so Q3, or the third quartile, which is 16.5, plus 1.5 times the IQR of 4.5. That will be equal to 23.25. All right, so after obtaining these values, then we can simply look back at the data values that we were given. So the lower fence, 5.25, is somewhere around here. And the upper fence is 23.25. So somewhere here, say for example, is here. Now, what does this mean? So by looking at the box plot, including the lower and the upper fence, we can see that all the data values that we were given actually fall within the fence, right? So 5.25 is the lowest, and the highest is 23.25. So that only tells us that the data set has no outlier. For your challenge, also, if you want to draw a box and whisker plot to practice, you can also do that. Once you have your answer, please remember to share your insight by writing a comment below. And if you learned something from this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching.